Well, hello there. That is a way to start that. Hey, guys. So that was a thing that happened last episode, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Kirsten and Philip and David over there being very, very quiet in that very empty chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What you don't know is if you die in the game, you die for real.
He died in real life.
We had to
He
kill
doesn't
him.
get any more chicken nuggets. I killed him off of the script, and therefore, what use is him to me anymore? No. Well, so here's the thing. David is getting ready to be a father. We're very excited for him, but obviously starting a family requires a major time investment, especially those first couple of months where all they do is try and kill themselves, cry, poop, and eat. Like that sounds exhausting, just utterly exhausting. So he's taken a step back from the podcast and also I think RPGs altogether. He doesn't know if or when he's going to come back. So he's on an indefinite hiatus. And we knew this for a while. And so we had planned for Alex to die in some way for a while. It was not news to the rest of the people at the table that he was going to die. The fact that Sky killed him was news.
Drama.
So it felt like we wanted to make sure that Alex's death had some kind of impact, as you know, he's been with us for 100 odd episodes, and we didn't just want him to disappear into the ether without a real good reason. So we decided to kill him off in a very dramatic way because we think it would add to the story. But obviously, it's going to be a little bit quieter around the table, at least for this episode, as it's just the three of us.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dope.
Yeah. David goes with our best wishes, of course. Yeah. Just had to focus on himself and the family. So we're going to be holding it down for now.
Yeah.
Also, I'm real sorry that we didn't give you a musical episode, but instead we gave you a murder episode.
That was something you wanted. How about something you'll hate?
Oh, goodness gracious.
So welcome back to the 7th Star to the Right podcast. This is session 101. It's a new era because it's just the three of us.
Cool.
And Alex is now dead.
Yeah,
we did it
episode
100 episodes with Alex. We got to change it up. We got to appeal to a new demographic.
Now it's time to be sad.
Now it's time to be sad.
No, this is episode 101, A New Hope.
Oh, no.
So I know, like, there's obviously one big thing that we all remember from last time, but it might be worth pulling out some of the other things that had happened just to get us back on track. So,
Sure thing.
yeah.
First thing I have in my notes, incredibly important. Alex got soup.
Very important. Are you
Yep.
just going to be chronicling all of Alex's because you knew what was going to happen?
No, I just thought it was important that we all know that. But actually, I believe the first sort of major thing that happened last episode is we overheard I believe Alex and Nona overheard a conversation between Devas and Von McRaven.
Yep.
Where they got in an argument about religion.
Mm-hmm.
And Nona checked in with Vaughn after that. And it sounds like the relationship is strained enough that maybe Devas just isn't going to listen to him, which is not at all terrifying and bad for team.
Yeah, it's a question as to whether the relationship is strained so much. And that's why there's no sway, or if Devas is so bought in to what he is selling and what the Shibboleth are selling him, that the fact that family is like, hey, they tried to kill me, doesn't really hold much sway.
Yep. So that's cool. We then had a discussion around potentially going public with the news of specifics around political prisoners and that they are planning on executing them, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And that is now being spearheaded by our good friend Elijah West.
Eli West.
We're allowed to call him Eli now. I don't want to. Do not desire to
Eli West.
indicate familiarity with this man.
The problem is once you start saying Elijah Wood, just
Yeah.
the rest comes out.
That happened to me like literally last time. I didn't even notice. And people were like, Kirsten made a joke. And I'm like, nope, I'm just a dumbass. Anyway, so then we sat down and had a sort of more formal interrogation with Sky. We got more information about how she became a Metascion, how it sounds like there's stuff under the palace. We're all shocked by this. Some kind of fun machine thing that injects you with shiny stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Was
Was the
Yeah.
yes.
Opalescent. I really like that word, so I make sure to use it a lot.
Pristine.
Stop it.
So we basically got a whole bunch of information from Sky. And then Alex had a conversation with Sky. And I'm not going to sum all of that up. You can go back and listen to it if you want. But we got another prophecy from
Titus, yeah.
about Drifter in a storm and his house being crap and not being able to shield him. So no idea what that's about. And then immediately after that, Alex went out for a midnight smoke and Dunn got stabbed.
Dunn got stabbed
By Skywyn.
by Skywyn.
Who broke out in ways unknown to us so far.
That's right. We also, none of our characters know about this.
Nope. Alex is dead, and Claire, Nona, Micah, and the rest of all of like the children of
The acolytes of
Pardon?
the end.
Who?
I honestly
Who?
they're the same. Let's be honest. They're both just awful.
We come to episode 101.
Yeah,
You say this to me. You say to me, oh, they're the same. Okay, they're the same.
I honestly, like, we're going to have a conversation about this whole coordination thing because Davos is like, yeah, I'm going to go get that mic and spread our message to the world. And everybody's just like, cool with it. I'm like, you realize he's going to be spouting crazy cult shit, right? Like, he's going to be like, attention all non-psychics, you suck. Attention all psychics, torch yourselves to get to heaven. And that's probably not who you want at the mic. But anyway, we'll get back to that later.
We'll deal with that when the time comes and he's already at the mic.
He's already at the mic, and then we just shoot him.
We'll burn that bridge when we cross it.
Exactly. Great use of that idiom. Yeah. And so we find ourselves on that evening. I don't think that there's anything else more for me to say. Davos and Vaughn are related. Davos is
the nephew.
Vaughn's nephew. Killian was his mother. This is before I learned that was a masculine name. And I was thinking of Trillian from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But we're not going to retcon that. Because sometimes,
Just names.
you just name a boy named Sue,
Sometimes you just want to name somebody Killy in because they kill a lot, I guess.
Killy-Ann.
It's
Oh my God, Killy-Ann.
Killy Ann. Oh, you misheard me. It's not Killian. It's Killy Ann.
There's a Y in there.
I hate it.
2 Ys.
It's not good. No,
And an
okay.
EIGH somehow.
I was just thinking that. I couldn't figure out where to put that.
Okay, actually, Jeff, so this Killian is Vaughn's sister.
That is correct.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
And so we find ourselves on that evening. Nona, as you do not sleep,
Yeah, I'm in Claire's room.
you would be the first to hear an alarm start to sound. The alarm seems to be a ramshackle bell that is being rang over and over again. Micah, you know what? I'm going to make you roll
You're going to
for
make me
this.
do a wisdom notice check, Jeff?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to, no. I'm going to make you roll the saving throw.
Okay. I'm imagining a mental save,
No, a physical save.
physical save, emotional save.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
just-
Like if you're woken
whether
from your
you
sleep.
fall off the bed or not.
Yeah, well, that die almost rolled nicely, but then it didn't, so I fail.
Okay. You are sleeping through this a little bit.
Woo.
And the bell is being rung. The bell is being rung.
Yep.
You see Claire. Actually, I'm also going to make Claire. Claire is also still dead asleep.
I am going to wake her up. We're in the same room. I grab my sword, I wake her up, and then I stick my head outside to see what's going on.
Okay. You see down the hallway, Isis is right next to a bell that you didn't even realize was there, but is attached to the ceiling, and she has her hand gripped on a piece of twine that comes off of it and running her hand back and forth as she's ringing this bell. You see a few others start to poke their heads out. Vaughn, Kynon, and Dorian Gray, Gianu are all peeking their heads out.
Mm-hmm.
And when Isis sees you, she says, Freya's been knocked out, Sky's gone. And she continues to ring, and she points at Kynon. She's like, get over here. You need to look at her right now. What do you do?
I go get Micah and Alex.
Okay. You approach Micah's room. Micah is starting to stir, seems to have been...
This is not a time for subtlety. I am yelling.
Okay.
Everybody needs to be up. There is hey, Sky's gone. We need to find her.
What? Oh, okay. Waking up, smack face a little bit. She got it. Okay. Already walking out the door.
Yep.
And you approach Alex's quarters, and they are empty. You see that his jacket is no longer with his stuff as well, but the rest of his things are all neatly packed as he normally keeps his room.
I immediately turn back to the other two and I say, Alex is not here. We need to find him.
He sometimes goes out for smokes.
Yes.
Okay. Who's leading the way? Claire is not leading the way.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll be running to. I mean, yeah, outside by the docks is also presumably where Sky would try to go if she was going anywhere. So definitely running that way.
Yeah, because everything is boats on this.
Yeah, there's not really much else ways to go, at least as far as I'm
you
aware.
can fly if you have a death wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. There are those grav harnesses we never use. She could boost one of those.
And as you all head towards the docks, you need to pass by the place where Sky was being held. You see Isis continuing to ring and sees that most people are up now and starts to take attendance, is going down the line, and in fact seems to be heading towards Zuri's quarters as they have not poked their head out yet, and just like starting to check on people. Vaughn is starting to give directions, and you see that Kynon is seen to Freya. Freya has a large welt on the top of her head. She seems to have been hit over top of the head with the chair that Sky was tied to. And Kynon is talking to her, and she is responsive. She's fine, but she does seem quite dazed.
Okay. Yeah. I think if it seems like she's stable, she's being attended to by a scion, I think I would, check that, like confirm that visually, but then keep on moving forward toward the exit.
Yeah.
Okay. Vaughn says, I'll go with you guys. Kynon, loop everyone else in when they get here. And you all start to head into the larger meeting room, and you take a quick look around, doing a quick sweep. I assume you have your weapons at the ready.
Yeah, I'll say, yep. Vaughn, do you know anything else? Like what happened?
I don't know. I was woken up. Sky's gone. I don't know who is accounted for and who's not accounted for. We need to do a quick sweep, see if we can find her, and see if where she's gone, if she has gone anywhere.
We're currently missing our friend.
Alex?
Yes.
He wasn't in his room. Yeah.
And I'm like calling his name as we're passing through things, just, general shouting.
Yep. And eventually you do a sweep of that meeting room. There is then the kitchen, but you instead choose to turn your attention towards the docks. You head through the door, and with the sun just cresting over the mountain faces, you see him lying face down on the docks, blood pooled around his chest. skin pale.
Kainan, I'm gonna
Vaughn will
start
say,
yelling back.
Kainan, we have someone. Kainan, get out here. And
I'm rifling through my bag for like Lazarus patch, anything like that.
Vaughn heads back inside to get Kainan, and shortly thereafter, you see Kainan come out. Micah, as you approach Alex, do you touch him? He's currently face down at the moment.
Yeah, I think having learned a couple of things from Alex, I'm going to try not to move him first and look and see like where's the blood coming from. Try to get a sense of what happened to him before I'm jostling him around and maybe making things worse.
He seems to... You do not immediately see a wound on his person, but as you reach for him, he is cold.
Yeah.
You feel for a pulse. There is no pulse. And you start to take a look around at the pool of blood that he is in, and you can see that parts of it have started to congeal. He's been here a while.
During all of this, Nona, basically as soon as he's been spotted, she froze and is just watching all of this happen.
And Kainan then comes out and goes out next to you, Micah, and starts, you see it almost immediately on his face that there is just this grim expression, and he tenderly takes Alex and turns him over, and that is where you see the wound from which all of this blood came out of, right in his chest.
Is there anything you can do?
Micah, if I got here, he's been like this at least for a couple of hours. Maybe right as it happened, I'd be able to do something, but...
He's supposed to be able to heal himself.
And Kainan looks up at Unona and he says, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
This isn't right. He's supposed to be able to take care of himself.
Mike is trying to get a better picture of what's happening. Definitely isn't ready to fully process this right now. But obviously figure out what happened. Do I see, I think there was a boat stolen. Just kind of what the rest of the scene is. Any other clues like that?
You take a quick look around, and it's not like there's an innumerable amount of ships. It would have been pretty clear when you first came in how many ships there were. There is one missing. It was not Dorian Gray's jet ski, but another jet ski, just a random one. Seems to no longer be moored where it was. It is gone. Can you make a wisdom notice check for me, please?
Yep. 5.
You are not the best at investigation, unfortunately.
Nope.
And there's a passing thought like, Alex would have been better at this.
Yeah, rub it in.
You guys don't have the ability
Roll
to notice
3,
anymore.
drop the lowest one. Yeah.
You take a look around trying to understand what happened. You don't immediately see any murder weapon. The puncture wound seems to have been made by some form of knife, but where that knife is, you're not sure, whether it slipped through in between slats in the dock and into the water below, or whether it was taken by Sky. The most that you are able to surmise, though, is that Alex seemed to have ran into Sky in some way and was dispatched by her.
Yeah. Couldn't have really been anyone else. Could have. I mean, yeah. What if no one else knows we're here? Must have been her. Yeah.
Nona gets closer, walks up to Alex's body, kneels down and takes his hand and says, I am so sorry. I thought we were safe.
Yeah. I come over and put a hand on Nona's shoulder too.
She looks up at Micah and says, I brought her here.
No, you didn't do anything wrong, Nona. I mean, I was kind of hoping with all of this that that maybe, I don't know, maybe we could fix things somehow, her and me. Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong by not killing her back on the boat.
But this happens every time. Every single time with Ernst Restikoff, we rescued him and he attacked us, and then we saved Sky and she killed Alex.
Yeah, hey, it's not your fault, okay? I'm just gonna try and reassure her on her back. It's yeah, I don't think Micah has any more words right now.
Kainan will, at this point, having really nothing more to do, stands up and silently goes away, leaving you all a little bit to be in this place. You notice that the docks get awfully quiet. You only hear the waves lapping up against it. And you notice that you hadn't been paying attention to Claire. She is standing only a couple of steps away from the door and is in a state of shock. Eyes forward, blank expression. She was already pale, but the blood is completely from her face. It's as if she is a ghost. Do you want to say anything in this moment? Yeah.
Yeah. When I notice Claire hasn't kind of come closer and is still over there, Mike is definitely going to turn around and go over to her and just try and pull her into a hug.
You hug her, but she does not hug back. She almost feels limp in your arms. And shortly after this hug, a group of folks come out, primarily Micah, your group. It still appears that Freya is not feeling very well. She's not there right now. But Vaughn, Isis, and Zuri all come out. And Vaughn will say, damn it. All right. We checked the rest of the hideout. She's doesn't seem to be here. And given the fact that that jet ski over there is gone, I'm guessing she flew. Freya said that the last time she checked, her watch was about 3 hours ago. So that was 3 hours of Sky being able to go out and do whatever. We need to move. We need to pack up. We need to get out of here. Then we can figure out what to do. Next steps. And he is looking at you, Micah, almost for permission. There is an unspoken question there. Like, are you good to go?
I've got a lore question for you, Jeff, in this moment.
Yeah.
How do we bury people on Orsiame?
This was actually mentioned before. It is
Viking funeral, right?
yeah. I was trying to think of the word for it. It's not incineration, but that's kind of what it is.
I mean,
that can be involved if you want it to be. Okay.
What is it? It's there's a like the funeral thing, and it's like you get buried in a plot or you get cremated. Thank you. Cremation. Yeah. That's it. Fucking can't think of it. Yeah, but fire. Like Viking funeral.
Oh, okay. So not at sea.
It is. Yeah, it is.
I
One
mean,
of the
you
reasons,
do both.
You can do both.
Yeah, it is the reason why when returning home, Claire did that to her childhood home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we've got to move. So they're not all on top of us. Like it's kind of rubbing at her head a bit. But we've got to bury him, Vaughn. I mean, we can try and do it quick, but I'm not just gonna I'll
I'm
come
not,
over the side.
no, I'm not saying we can either do it right now or we can bring him with us and do it there. But I think we need to be out of here within 30 minutes. I don't want to be here when the silence operatives come down on this. Like, I don't know what Sky might be doing. She might be going directly to them, or she might be trying to, completely run out and skip the coop, so to speak, with how things went down, with her entire prisoner convoy attacked, many left dead, her captured, probably by, or captured, quote unquote. She could have been working on the inside. She does have a known acolyte, of the end as a sister, right?
Yeah.
I know.
She might not be able to go back, but I'm not willing to take that chance. We have to go. I'm happy to take him with us.
I know where Sky is. She's going for her family.
What?
That's when you were talking with her, what you told me when I was talking with her. She kept mentioning being worried about the rest of your family.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where she'll be.
If
We could go there. We could go there and kill her.
Oh, stars. Yeah. Okay.
We don't have to think about
just one. You want, one thing at a time. Yeah. Let's. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to rush this so much, but I don't know if we can afford to take the just like dead weight with us either. Okay, I think we should just cremate him now.
I have no need to participate in this ceremony. I will be packing.
Yeah, we've got to go. We got to go.
Okay.
But I don't just want to leave him here like this.
Okay. All right. I will get Isis to prepare things here. I will start getting other folks to pack up. We'll likely need to split up. Davis's group one way, our group another way. We don't have another hideout as big as this one. We'll try and find a small one in and around Principa, and then we'll regroup from there. All right? We've got, and he looks down at his watch, 20 minutes on the dot. Let's go.
Okay.
I go pack.
Okay. Moving. Yep. I'll help, Isis get things together. Mike is clearly not very religious, but if all I've got is, some of the kinds of like teachings or words that they have with the acolytes, I think I'll say some of those just to say something while we do that. Or, do the cremation.
Mm-hmm.
And so you split off. You notice that Claire doesn't immediately start to move along with you guys. Is either one of you going to be doing anything about that?
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm occupied with some of the practicalities there, but I want to keep an eye on her. Definitely. I know that this is going to hit her very hard, and Mike is trying to, I guess, get us through the morning, but kind of make sure that everyone is, as well as could be given circumstances. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on Claire. And when stuff is concluded with Isis, I know we're all kind of in a rush, but I'll go to her, make sure that she's, at least packing up. I don't want to push her too hard, but gotta keep her in my sight.
Yeah. And so it's almost as if she's under hush. Obviously, she hasn't taken any drugs, but she doesn't say a word. You say like, okay, let's go inside. And she just kind of blankly nods and turns inside. She's able to pack up and get herself ready. Are either of you going to pack up Alex's things?
Yeah. I will.
Nona quickly gets all of her stuff together and has a thought and says, someone's better got to do that. Heads over to Alex's room where you see his stuff is laid out. You go through his stuff and you can see on his character sheet, but you go through and find the biomonitor, Lazarus patches, compad binoculars. You actually go through a couple of things He still has metal crab helmet on his for some reason.
I still got that on my sheet.
Sometimes you just, you got to pick up that wheel of cheese and then you carry it up to High
There you
Hrothgar
go.
with you.
And then you throw it off the throne of the world.
And Nona, something that you actually wasn't aware. I can't remember if you were or were not aware of him having. He has 5 Reverie Plus syringes in his backpack. But other than that, standard fare. You pack it all up into the backpack. You throw it over your shoulder and you head out. Meanwhile, everyone else is moving every which way, taking down maps, packing them away into things pretty neatly, grabbing the leftover soup, just really quickly picking up. And within 15 minutes, everything is packed up and is put in either a box or a backpack and is loaded up onto the ships. When you head back out onto the docks, you see that Isis has prepared Alex in the same clothes that you met him in, and has taken some of the personal effects and sees that you, Nona, have his backpack and hands them to you and says, "These I found on him."
Thank you. In general, when Nona is not moving, there is less shock now, not sadness, anger. So very much anger, to the point that like people maybe thinking about trying to talk to her might see her face and decide against it.
I think that's very reasonable. And so from just scraps here and there, Isis has been able to create a funeral pyre, so to speak, on the docks themselves. The docks, they are not made of wood. They are made of stone because everything on Orisiame is terrible and doesn't have a native biosphere, and wood is very
stupid.
And that's the way we like it.
That's the way we like it. She's done the best she could. It's not a funeral pyre of like a bunch of logs. It is primarily things to raise up the body. And then the body itself has also been given some of the different, fire starters that one might use in order to heat up a pot while camping, and placed around, just trying to figure out how this actually physically works.
Yep.
And Vaughn goes up to you guys and says, "All right, we're all packed up. I hate to rush this, but is there anything that you guys want to say before we put him to rest?"
Yeah, I'm not good at this stuff, but yeah, Alex, we didn't always see eye to eye. You're always there for us, and I think you didn't always want to be the places we dragged you, but yeah, you're a good friend.
I'm sorry we brought you back here. We shouldn't have done that.
At that point, yeah, Michael will say some whatever kind of more religious words, or if there's kind of a tuned hum or anything in some kind of Orsimian tradition, I'll do that just to try and give a little more sense of weight to the whole thing. Since we're rushing, I want to give it as much as I can. But then, yeah, kind of carry on with igniting it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Claire.
Yeah.
You guys turn to her, and as if to like say, "Do you want to say something?" And she looks up and says, I'm gonna miss you, Alex. As she just puts her head back down and doesn't say more. And you can see that there is a lot of emotions being held behind her facade right now, and it's bulging at the seams.
I take out my lighter, and I take Micah's hand and I put it on top of mine. I take Claire's hand and I put it on top of Micah's. And we light it.
And And you all see as the flames start to catch onto the various flammable material, as more and more of this pyre starts to alight until it is ablaze and you can no longer see Alex within it. And Vaughn will come up behind you, Micah, put a hand on your shoulder and says, "All right, we got to go." And heads towards the boat that you already see Kainan and Isis starting to load, while Zuri and Freya are in a smaller one.
Okay. I'll look to the remaining party members.
Claire
And-
just walks forward onto the boat.
The fire doesn't help. Thought that was the whole point.
The way I've always thought about it is it's kind of more for him than for us.
Okay. Let's get out of here.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go find the boat that's been appointed to us or has the space for us.
Yep. You guys end up on the boat with Freya and Zuri, as Kainan, Isis, and Vaughn are on the other one with most of the supplies. And as dawn becomes morning and the light starts to shine over top of the mountains, and you pull further and further away, the light on the docks becomes farther and farther and farther until you can no longer see them. The trip to the next safe house is not a long one, probably just a matter of hours. And you arrive at a very similar style to the one that you left. It's another hideout that seems to be carved right into the side of this mountain itself. Although the docks, rather than being clear and out into the river itself, seem to be almost hidden along the coastline. It requires you to go along the coastline, and you will see a little reservoir that is pulled off to the side, and you all go along the coastline and pull into this small little area that you see. There is enough space for you to just barely single-filedly walk along this pathway.
During this entire boat ride,
Mm-hmm.
none is glaring at Freya. Doesn't say anything, but almost unblinking.
All right. Micah, this would be clear to you.
Yeah. I see that happening. I think I'm not in a headspace to be talking to Freya at this moment, but I'm at least going to try and lead Nona away, maybe to the other side of the boat, if there's anywhere that has less of a direct line of sight. So we're just a little more separated, if she'll let me.
Yeah, fine.
So you guys separate yourselves a little bit on the boat, and then you eventually reach the hideout. This hideout is, as Vaughn said, much smaller. It doesn't seem to have an array of rooms for folks to be in. I will say that Elijah West went with Davis's crew, so it is just the three of you as well as Micah's crew.
Can we also have Dorian Gray?
Yeah, the Dorian Gray will come along
Yay.
in her cool little jet ski.
Excellent.
And you guys find yourselves in this cavern almost. It does have some tables and furnishings, primarily just like chairs and tables. Clearly is used as a meeting place. And you also see that there are two separate back rooms. These rooms seem to be pretty barren and could be used for many different things. It seems like you will all be using them as communal bed areas. And You all take a moment to unpack, and eventually it gets to the point where Vaughn and Dorian Gray and Isis are talking out on the docks while Zuri and Kainon are off in the corner, kind of solemnly looking and talking to one another. The three of you, including Claire, are seated in the communal bed areas where Freya is in a corner and still has quite a welt on her head. There is no more blood. There wasn't a ton of blood before, but clearly whatever hit her broke skin. And she's sitting in the corner, despondent.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask if I could take a look at her and try to get a sense of where she's at with all of this. But I guess despondent kind of covers it. Okay, it's been some hours. Micah is going to go over to her now, say, hey, I'll sit down next to her, kind of back to the wall. What happened, Frey?
I fucked up. It's
not your fault.
Oh, no. It is. I was watching her and we were just talking. I mentioned that you and I were close. She mentioned some things from your childhood. We got to talking. I thought I saw something in her, Micah. I thought I saw it. I saw it in my mind's eye. I could see that she didn't want to be here. She didn't want to be doing this. So when she asked for the bindings to be just loosened a little bit, they were causing chafing. I didn't think.
Micah's gonna scoot back a little bit, and expression does harden some. So, wait, you let her out?
I didn't try to. I was just trying to make her comfortable. I was trying to be the good cop, trying to show, we cared about her. And I didn't think that she'd be able to get out. I thought it'd be a little bit more comfortable.
You know what? There's a lot of feelings going on with Micah right now. I'm, if it's okay with you, going to give myself a mental saving throw.
Oh, I'd like to see how this one. I hope it goes badly.
Yeah, like that. Oh, that's a fail.
Alrighty.
Just by one, but fair's fair. Yeah, Micah's gonna back up and kind of stand up at that and said, like, you did. She, like, I assumed that she like tricked you and snuck up on you, but you just like let her out. Freya, like, that's what guarding is for. How could you possibly just let her get loose? And we saw how that went. So great. Okay, so that's how it happened. Now I understand everything. All right, awesome.
I wasn't trying to let her. I just.
No, I'm sure you weren't. That's just what happened. Okay, that's just what happened. And you weren't trying to get Alex killed, but that's what happened. And I immediately regret that as I say it, but I'm still too mad.
That'll get her to be quiet as well as she starts to cry.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Micah's going to walk away.
None is gonna follow. I'm assuming we're leaving now.
Claire's gonna stay.
I'm gonna gesture to see if she wants to come with. I want confirmation from her either that she intends to stay here or
You won't be able to just head nod as you head out the door.
No.
You will need
I'm
to,
gonna she's been like this for a while, right? We figured
she's
out
in almost in a catatonic state.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab her by the hand and be like, "Do you want to go over here? Do you want to come with?"
Where were his cigarettes? Did he want to have one? Why was he there? Do you think he still couldn't sleep? Do you think he needed sleep? Maybe, I don't know, maybe he shouldn't have been smoking. That's not good for him. I don't know why he was smoking.
He always used to say that he could heal from it.
He shouldn't have been doing it. It's not good for him.
Yeah. No, it was not. Come on.
Okay. You get her to.
Yeah. I don't want to leave her here
Yeah.
for multiple reasons.
Very reasonable.
One of them being we're just going to be keeping a really close eye on basically everybody now. The circle of trust has shrunk to epically small proportions.
Is Dorian Gray still in it?
Dorian Gray's 100% still in there.
Excellent.
In fact, I'm like,
you can't die on me. You literally can't die.
I'm like, Nona is actively contemplating taking her group and going home.
Yeah. So yeah, Mike is still storming off, but is gonna go. Is Vaughn still in this room? So I can't quite remember exactly.
Vaughn,
it was just the other group.
Yeah,
right?
Vaughn, Isis, and Dorian Gray are all kind of outside on the docks. You aren't sure talking about what, but it might be quote unquote adult time for them to try and what are the next steps, not dealing with
Sure.
all of the people who are directly related to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Zuri and Kainan are in the corner of this meeting room. So I don't know where you guys intend to go. The docks themselves are not really docks. It's really just kind of a pathway to a little lagoon, I think would probably be the best word for it. But just there's a small little inlet to a body of water that eventually goes to the shore itself. So it's not really docks, almost like a small beach.
I think if we're both of the people we kind of want to talk to are in that sort of outside place. So maybe Micah goes and talks to Vaughn, and then I and Claire try and grab Dorian Gray, and Isis can go fuck herself.
Get out of my face, Isis.
We push her in the water.
Guy here. No one wants you. Anyway, Kainan and Zuri obviously see you guys head out, and you did hear that there was a conversation happening between them, but it doesn't require a wisdom notice check to hear
Thank fucking God.
that
We miss you, David.
Clueless gang.
Let's roll out.
Stop talking when you guys enter the room.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to talk to them anyway.
that's right.
And so I guess, Micah, you go up to Vaughn and
Yep. Just
I want
go.
to see if I
you're-
can't get Miss Gray. Can I talk to you for a minute?
yeah, and you hear the tail end of the conversation, which is something to the effect of, no, we need to get to Principa probably in the next day or so we can get those. Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna cut in. It's definitely trampling over their conversation while they're talking. It's hi. So I'm gonna go track down my sister, and I'm gonna kill her. So just thought to let you know. Nona thinks she's probably back at my parents' house. That makes sense to me. So yeah, just giving you a heads up.
and as you Isis kind of steps next to Vaughn on this, and Vaughn says, Micah, I'm going to be his.
So yeah, I mean, we've got a couple of jet skis here. I was thinking, I haven't really talked to you guys about this, gesturing at Nona and Claire. You can definitely come if you want, but yeah, this is that's just that's what's happening right now.
Micah, this is not the time.
What's not the time?
Right now is not the time to do this.
This is the only time she will leave. She will run, and then we won't know where she went.
Your intention is to go into Principa, track down your sister, who is very likely with your family, and kill her.
Yeah, that sums it up.
He looks over at Isis, who just kind of shrugs, and he looks back at you and says, Micah, there are many reasons why this is not a good idea right now. You've had people die around you before, and I understand this, Alex, was important to you. I don't think this is the best time to do this. I think you're putting a danger to yourself. And I will say that no matter what happens, if you are able to do what I think you want to do, well, what you've explicitly said you are going to do, I do not think it will fill you with whatever you're hoping it will fill you. It'll just make another hole.
She duped us. I don't know what I expected, but I thought maybe we could change her mind, flip her. Obviously, she fooled Freya. No, well, she's just gonna get away with it. She's just gonna, oh, that's fine. That's okay. She's out in the world now. You think that's okay, Vaughn?
I think that there are means at which we can bring our oppressors to justice, and I do not think it requires them to die. This is war, Micah. I hate what happened to Alex, but people die.
Yeah.
Well, we spent most of our time on our last mission trying to have that not happen. And this is how we were repaid. That cannot go unanswered.
I won't stop you, but I can give you the advice of a man who's seen a lot of death over these years. Killing Sky won't bring Alex back.
Do you have a better idea?
Topple the regime that she helped stand up, and then try and find her afterwards and bring her to justice. To justice. Make her pay for her crimes, not summarily kill her. If you need reminding, you all killed several people to let me go.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I got that. But you get, I cared about Alex for sure. You get it's not all about that for me, right? Like you get, this is my family we're talking about. Fuck. So what? Fine. Okay. What does stick to the plan even look like? If she's out there, she can tell them things about us. Maybe they don't want to talk to her. I don't know, but that seems like a pretty big, I was going to say fly in the ointment. We don't have flies.
Or maybe even ointment.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty big problem, Vaughn.
I'm talking to the various sects members, not sex members.
You flirted with that on the last
We're not an orgy.
Too.
No matter what they say about
No
us.
matter what they say about us. We just like how it feels. Anyway.
And we're back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to throw in a little blue comedy in there, just to really shake things up and make people happy again. Because I'm sad right now. We've been talking amongst ourselves, and I think that there's good reason to maybe hold off on the coronation attack. But
what? Sorry, you're the boss. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that kind of the whole plan, was attack the coronation?
It was, but Sky's out there. We could very well be compromised. It seems at the very least reason to talk about if we want to actually do it. I wasn't saying I'm 100% sure that this is where we want to go. We definitely don't want to do it, but it seems from the sentiment of the rest of the leaders of the acolytes that they want to move forward. They think now's the time to strike, and they think the Children of Silence already know that too. So what's one Inquisitor who was able to escape from our custody really matter to them? Hell, we don't even know if she did actually go to them and try and share that information.
She seems to be under the impression that if she returned to them, they would kill her.
I think that's a very reasonable assumption on her part. All I'm saying is it seems now is the time for caution. But a lot of the leaders of the Acolytes don't agree.
Especially Devas.
And he looks at you pointedly, Nona, and says, yes, his entire contingent. He has a few leaders who believe in him. But even those who don't necessarily follow the Acolytes of the End and all of their teachings, a lot of folks still think it's time to go.
Then what do you think? If you're saying caution, maybe they've got the wrong idea, then what do you think we should do? Because we've got to do something, right? Then otherwise that's just calling the plan off.
I think it's time to talk about things. That's what I think. Coronation does seem to be about as good a time as any. And they're doing something, Micah. I don't know if we can wait much longer. This is going to be the time when they are out of the palace. They aren't hunkered down in there like a fortress. I don't know what they're doing in there. But from what I heard, that conversation I overheard, they're not too far away after the coronation. It seems dangerous as hell to me, though. Seems like a trap.
Yeah. Seemed that way before, too. Didn't stop
was.
us talking about it.
Even more so now.
Oh, no, that's what I meant. Yeah, no, I mean, the coronation seemed like a trap when we were talking about it the first time.
Yes.
And we were still planning to go through with it.
Well, there's also the wrinkle of we still don't know what Devas is planning to do. I have seen your group, the Acolytes of the End, and there seems to be two very different opinions. And as I understand it, the plan is currently attack the coronation and hand Devas a microphone so that he may spread his message to the people. And what happens then?
He's actually been surprisingly flexible on that account. He actually starting to talk to Eli about having Eli take the mic.
It's better.
I don't know what Devas is up to. I don't know the information that he's being given. It's very clear, though, that he wants this to happen. And I think one of the best choices I have is to be there and keep an eye on him. So we were talking as he kind of gestures to Dorian Gray and Isis about continuing with the plan that we did have, which was obtaining some credentials, some media credentials to find our way into the coronation media and stage the coup from there. We have some contacts in principle we were thinking about meeting.
Okay. We could do that. Give me a mission.
Vaughn looks to you, Nona. Says, how are you feeling about things? Sorry I met you just a couple of days ago, and I understand you've been helping out Micah here, but you seem concerned.
Mr. McRaven, I do not trust your group. Your nephew speaks regularly with things that appear to want bad things for my group, and I thought I could trust your sect, but you have failed us and my friend is dead. I am not feeling very charitable about working with you right now. I will support Micah because she is my friend, but I do not believe that you can do this. That is where I am at right now.
And he nods at that and says, Nona, I appreciate your honesty. I don't know what the next couple of days hold, but something bad's happening. I can feel it in my bones.
And also you're precog, so that might be helping too.
Yeah, my bones tend to vibrate. That's how I get my premonitions.
That sounds very uncomfortable.
My teacher said it was not a good way of handling it. It's like normally people visualize it. It's not like a thing like that. Oh, you got a creaky knee and now a storm's coming, you know?
Is that why that happens?
That jingle jangle of bones.
It's my bones. I can feel them.
Uh-huh.
They just start to like do a little vibrate. Anyway.
Yes, well, I agree. I think something bad is going to happen. If it were up to me, I would leave. I would take my ship and go and leave this planet to whatever bad thing is about to happen, because I do not believe we can stop it. And I don't want to lose any more of my friends.
And he looks over at you, Micah.
No, I hear you, and I get for you totally why that makes sense. And you've got to make the call that feels right for you. You know, I still think that we can do this. I still think that we can change this planet and make it a better place. If Sky is still out there, then, you know, changing things is going to be one way to get back at her, and we're on better footing to keep doing that, whatever that looks like. If we can overthrow the Chancellor, whatever the shibboleths are up to, trying to like manipulate everybody here, I think fine. To me, it still feels like the right thing to do, but that's just me. I can't tell you guys what to do.
I will not abandon you.
I'll lean in to hug Nona. Like, damn man.
We are friends.
Yeah, I guess we are. Claire is with us, yes.
Yeah.
Claire is directly
Yeah,
next to me. We're already holding hands. She does not leave my sight from here on out.
Okay. Like, fair enough. As I will assume that you are dragging her
Yes.
places then.
Yes.
That is because that is basically what you need to do.
100%.
You can like sometimes like lean down into her and it's like, we're gonna go now. And she'll like look up at you and kind of like nod, but she's having a time.
Yeah.
Yes. Weirdly enough, this is actually something that Nona is good at, because she's acting like one of my robots. Just be like, here's where we go. Don't run into the wall.
Come here, Juan.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother her anymore. I know that Claire still needs, you know, obviously time and some space, but I'm just going to turn to Claire and just kind of caress her by the hair a little bit and not, try to say anything to her, because I think she still just needs time to process. But I'll turn back to Vaughn, say, if that's all true, I think that then we're up for it, because I think this needs to happen. If you really think that it would be so bad to go after Sky, I'll trust you.
I don't know. I'm fairly convinced that fire would make me feel better.
Which fire?
I'm going to burn your sister's house down.
Oh, well, okay. We could talk. That my parents live there. That's complicated. But
I didn't realize that they
their
share.
fault.
My apologies.
They're just racist.
It's as my understanding that as one approaches adulthood, you relocated out of the house of your parents, and that not doing so was a social signal of failure.
Nona, have you ever heard about the concept of rent?
We delve into a conversation about the economy.
It's too damn high.
Rent is too damn
let me
high.
tell
All these corporations, they're just buying up land and then raising up the prices bit by bit. Honestly, it should be illegal for, large million-dollar corporations to own single-family homes. I
Preach,
just
Von
don't
McRaven.
understand.
Well, you're about to own the government, so maybe do that.
I could do something about that.
Yeah.
I
Alright,
like the way you think, Nona.
Okay, everybody say, yeah, rent is bad. We get eyes on the prize. Come on. Fine. Okay. We can go ahead. You say coronation plan is still going? Still going. All right. Can you give me something to do right now?
Right now, could help Isis make dinner. Tomorrow, we're going to head into Principa and we're going to try and meet with those contacts. Try and get those passes so that we can infiltrate the coronation and then away we go.
All right. Dinner it is.
He'll give you like the little slap on the shoulder. It has a tenderness to it though. You know, like
not
the
as
slap,
much pain
Yeah.
as normally is associated with this.
There's a lot of like how hard you hit implies a lot in like
Mhm.
what it means.
There's a whole body language.
It
I'll give
really
him,
is, yeah.
I'll give him a
Really depends on how much you wind up to.
a small and sad single-handed finger gun.
Oh my God.
It's a language. Listen.
That's so sad. A finger gun all by itself?
Are you gonna do like pew pew?
I'm not gonna puke. Jeff, what are you come on.
Come on, Jeff.
Get on Duolingo.
now
Learn how this works.
Not the time for it, Jeff.
Have some respect. Let's remember, Micah is a bad cook. So,
Yeah, no.
so
you
this is
asked for
happening.
something.
Oh, no.
This is great.
Oh, no,
I love this.
This is me reminding the table.
That's
I'm
right.
not telling Jeff. This is just what, or Vaughn. This is just what's happening.
Yes.
I'm going to do that.
All right. So Micah heads in with Isis, who starts to pull out her recipe list and points at this one, says, so I know we've had soup like the past 3 days, but what about this soup?
Didn't we have stir fry? I thought I remember Titus eating stir fry.
Where did he get
Did
stir fry?
he just get takeout on the way over?
I honestly don't really pay much attention to him.
Zuri's been door dashing for people.
Yeah, give me 50 credits and I'll run to Principa for you.
Do we have noodles in the back?
So,
All right, different soup you were thinking? Okay.
we could also do, you know, something not as water-based. Noodles
Sure.
We're making shitty ramen.
with a vitamin pack on top,
Amazing.
because, you know, you got to have that. Otherwise you get scurvy, I hear.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's what they say. Yeah. And some seawater for flavor. Mm-mm-mm.
Also, my voice is really low now. I don't know why. I think
Yeah,
I normally
hey,
bring
listen,
it farther
yeah,
up here. Yeah.
Today's been hard on all of us. Don't beat yourself up about it, Isis. It's okay.
She gives you a big bear hug,
Yeah, all right.
but not a bear hug because she's not a bear.
Okay, she's not
She's
a
not an
human-sized
Urson.
bear hug.
A human-sized bear hug.
I'll
She is
reciprocate
a
that.
larger woman, I think,
Yeah, but probably still a human-sized person.
but still a human-sized person,
As
not an
opposed to
Urson-sized person.
An Urson-sized person. Yeah.
Anyway, that leaves you, Nona, with Claire, who's just kind of tagging along to everything.
Yeah.
Vaughn will excuse himself, and
Yeah,
that
it gets
leaves-
real awkward real fast.
Dorian
when Michael
Gray
leaves.
also starts to leave, but if he wants to say
Yeah.
something,
I think I've actually said most of what I wanted to say, but whether this is a wise decision or not, I do currently trust you to be competent and not betray us, which is more than I can say about most others here. I think we should protect each other, whatever happens at the coronation. Our group, things are going to go bad. My bones do not vibrate, but I still know this to be true.
they nod and say, yeah, I'll definitely have your guys' back. I have dealt with my share of early exits from my life. I'm sorry about Alex, Nona, Claire. He was...
I believe, as he would say, he was a cool dude.
And she has her mask on right now, but you can hear the smile from behind it. And she says, he sure was. She kind of shakes her head and heads on inside.
And as she sort of turns to leave, I'm like, you sure you don't want to go to space? Because I want to go to space.
Are you saying that loud enough for her to actually hear?
I mean, it's like, it is half a joke.
She'll stop and say, maybe someday, but I think for now I got to take care of business here. I understand if you want to go, and Nona, I really do understand. This is not your fight.
Fine, let's go save the stupid planet.
Okay.
We go in, and maybe Claire helps with dinner. I'm not sure. I'll set her up for that opportunity if she wants it, and otherwise we'll just sit there and watch.
You guys
sit her at the campfire.
Oh yeah, can we do a campfire?
Or wait,
you basically
How do
have
we
to build a campfire in the middle of
what do we
this.
cook on top of? Rags? Just gas canisters?
Yeah, like
gas canisters.
Okay.
Oh,
The thing that you use to
Much less fun to stare at.
that's
create
right.
the pyre.
I mean, all fire is good.
All fire is good fire.
Yeah.
And there's probably some, because you're tech level 4, you could probably have little devices that, sit on and a little hot plate and a hot plate.
It's great for soup.
We're allowed to have hot plates. What luxury.
That makes this better than most college dorms, I'll tell you that much.
And so, yeah, you guys spend the evening chopping up various things, throwing it into the pot, tasting it and being like, no, that's not right, and adding more things until eventually it's just an amalgamation of things. You've definitely went off of the recipe and just started throwing random shit in there. And
yeah, my go-to move is more salt. So then you have to put more stuff in to balance out the salt.
Exactly. I was just stop that. And she slaps your hand as you're about to put in more salt. Like, we're out of carrots. Stop it.
Fine. God.
There's a thing that I've been wanting to try for a while with Claire. So if the two of us are just kind of sitting there, I will get her attention and then subtly tap on my head, assuming she picks that up, and
she'll do a slight nod.
I don't know if this actually works, but instead of sending words, I kind of just wanted to send an emotion.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to have you roll on, actually, I feel like this is a roll for her. No, but it's more fun if you do it.
Okay, fine.
Roll for, it's normally like wisdom or constitution. And then you don't have the psychic. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to roll for her.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll use her modifier. That makes the most sense.
Sure.
So her modifier for its wisdom and the psychic, she has a +4.
Damn, Claire.
She's a full psychic. She's good at this.
That makes that a 12.
Okay. This is not something you've practiced with her before, but you try it out. You try you feel in the back of your mind that connection, like that there is an open pathway now, and you send that emotion. What emotion are you sending?
It's part of the reason we're doing this in emotions as opposed to words is that it's hard to put into words exactly what it is, but there is obviously sadness in there. There's sadness, there's understanding, there is the idea that in this moment, it might be important to be sad. But overwhelmingly, on top of all of the rest of it, there is a feeling of togetherness. The idea that we are a group, we are going to stick together, and we're not going to forget him.
And she looks at you, seems a little surprised at that the fact that you were able to send like a fairly complex emotion to her. And you see her kind of look down at the table in front of her and close her eyes. And you feel this hollowness, this emptiness, as if you are in deep space, but all of the stars are out. Just absolute loneliness. But in that far, far, far corner, you see a tornado of emotions being held together by what seems like cosmic strings. So far away, but so violent. And that is the emotion that you get. And she'll open her eyes, look at you, and kind of just like frown and shake her head. And in the back of your mind, you hear, I don't want to feel. I can't feel. Not this. Not again. No, I don't think I could do it again. And just it trails off.
I understand. But another thing that I understand is that this is a part of living. People will die sometimes much sooner than you expect them to. And it has left so much unfinished business. We did not do all of the things we wanted to do. We did not say all of the things we wanted to say. But I think, in a way, it is important to feel these feelings because that's how you know he mattered. And so we feel terrible, and it is important that we feel terrible because something terrible has happened to us. And then time will pass and we will heal. We will not forget, but I do believe it will get easier.
You feel these emotions, those far, far away emotions, churning within themselves and spinning and writhing. And you feel those strings start to fray just a little. And she says, I can't believe he's gone. I think he's just gonna walk through those doors any moment. He's gonna say, oh, did you get my telephone number yet? No, it's an easy one to remember. It's 5. He's gone. He's like my mom, like everyone. No, not everyone. He's gone. And at that, you see this well of emotion come from behind her eyes, and you feel that final string that was holding these emotions back snap. And the feeling of emotions that you were having before, this void this starless emptiness is immediately thrown into turmoil as you can feel abandonment, fear, deep, deep sadness, all churning within each other, in around you. It almost overwhelms your own emotions. You feel these emotions almost as if they are your own, and perhaps they are mixing with your own. And you look to Claire as the light behind her eyes starts to grow. And it grows brighter and brighter until it starts to wash out the rest of the room. And you look around the room and you notice other people are starting to see this as well. Her hair starts to glow and the color is being pulled from the air around her as she stiffens more and more. And you see tears start to go down her face. And inside all of your heads at the same moment, you hear, "A haggard drifter finds refuge from the storm, one that has followed him his whole life. In a house built by strangers, but eventual friends. The effects of the storm lingered, and the drifter was not able to escape his fate, making one last journey from this world to the next. But he did so at peace, warmed by a fire he had never known before, and wrapped in a quilt of good deeds he had done. Goodbye, friendly drifter. May you finally be able to sleep peacefully." As this all culminates with Claire, her eyes running, and she slowly falls back, which, Nona, I assume you catch her.
We know how this works. As I do that, I'm also going to like look over at Micah and both are like, we're in this moment together, but also there's an underlying current of, oh shit, everyone else in this room is also in this moment together.
Yeah. And so just to be sure, all the rest of the conversation that's happening was in your two minds, right? That was not out loud. So this is the first that Micah has heard directly, except for body language.
Yeah.
And you notice that everyone has stopped what they're doing. Some maybe mid-bite or mid-pouring themselves a bit. Just, and like, you know, the little bit of water just like slops out into
Jeff,
the bowl.
you're such a cliche.
And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Goodbye, friendly drifter. May you finally sleep peacefully.
So yeah, I'll hoist it up in the air, and then we're just walking in, and I'll say,
"This is the ghost of Christmas past."
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
All right, so let me get this straight. You were throwing away stealth. You were effectively saying, "Hey, I'm here. I have this thing."
And
Scrooge.
the only reason,
As you rattle chains.
the only
And
reason,
he shouts out, "Who's there?"
well, I've got my gun trained on her. I will like walk out and say like, "Hey,
Your old business partner.
yeah."
Jacob Marley.
Ooh.
Alex,
So she
Alex points his
did.
pistol down and goes, "Bah, humbug."
Stupid.
And then he throws up.